Our gathering song for the month of April is One Foot, Lead with Love. Please rise in body or in spirit. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared. And I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love, and lead with love, and lead with love.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society. We are grateful to gather this morning for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we are glad that you are here. I'm Reverend Diana Smith. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a somewhat tall, white woman in my mid-40s, wearing a dark suit, a teal blouse, and a colorful universe-style stole, standing in UUS's pulpit in the front of our sanctuary. This room and the adjoining Religious Education Commons are filling with people of all ages. And through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect with the natural world around us, where it is a beautiful, warm spring morning, where the magnolias and the earliest fruit trees are beginning to flower, and it is magnificent. Eh? Yeah. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who have cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk, the Meskwaki, and the Oceti-Sakowin nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. We're guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition. And this morning, as we welcome new members and reflect on how we as individuals and we as a congregation can address intimate partner violence, we will celebrate and explore how we can live into our value of enhancing equity in human relations. At the soul work table outside the sanctuary doors, you can pick up materials related to today's service or something else to work with. And if you're newer to this congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service by talking with a greeter, or if you're online, by filling out the connections form in the YouTube show notes. And now our call to worship this morning comes from Margaret Weiss, who writes, "Come into this place with your whole self, the parts that are raw and exposed, the part that is beaming with joy, the part that is seeking the truth, the new, the possibility. Come into this place, open your heart, lay down your burden. Lift up your hope for something new to happen. Come into this place with fellow travelers on the journey, some new faces, some familiar, and all welcoming you here, now, to this moment. Come. Let us worship together."
Our opening hymn for this morning is number 134, Our World is Our One World. Please rise in body or in spirit. Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate, we make a bridge or wall. is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
Good morning. I'm Kezia Walker Cecil, and I am a tall white person with shoulder-length red hair, and I'm wearing a black shirt and a white cardigan. And my pronouns are she and they. I never remember what I'm supposed to say in this part. That's okay. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice as a symbol of sanctuary, safety, and hope, to unite us in our worship and to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth. Please join me in saying our chalice lighting words as Nadia lights our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our liberal religious heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to serve those in need. This we promise, this we covenant with life and one another. We also light a candle for justice and healing as a reminder of our interdependence with Earth and with all members of the global community, especially the most vulnerable. We light this candle so that we may not be numbed to injustice and trauma, but rather find strength, courage, and love as we work in solidarity with others for liberation, justice, and healing. Together, we create resilience and hope. Today, as we light this candle, we're particularly mindful of the victims of violence being enacted on the world stage in the wars in the Middle East. And we are mindful of those who are the victims of violence in their own homes and families. As I light this candle, let us hold a time of silence to listen to our hearts and bodies, and perhaps to lift up prayers.
New people being welcomed into the covenant of membership is a special time for the life of a congregation. Today, Victoria Hewitt, who's our membership coordinator, and Sarah Ross, who's our board president, will join me in leading this new member covenanting ceremony. Sarah and Victoria, will you head on up here? Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal faith. No one needs to assent to a statement of belief in order to find membership with us. Instead, it's our covenant that binds us together. As a covenantal religious community, we're defined by a shared set of values and ways of being. This includes supporting one another along our diverse spiritual journeys. Being defined by covenant means that Unitarian Universalist congregations are defined by love and the ways that we're always seeking to live love more fully into this world. That's because covenants are a way of saying how we want to be in relationship with one another. They're a way of saying to whom and for what we want to be accountable. Often, they include some of the fundamental principles for our actions. They can also tell us about what we aspire to be together. They invite us to be compassionate, curious, humble, trusting, and trustworthy. Our covenants, and what we covenant for, fundamentally define us as Unitarian Universalists. They give us space to engage in the spiritual work that defines this as a congregation. Victoria?
Good morning. I'm Victoria Hewitt, your membership coordinator here at UUS. I am a late 60-ish woman with short brown hair turning gray, wearing a black top and a rose quartz pendant. My pronouns are she, her. So each of the people that we are celebrating this morning have taken the time and the care to learn about Unitarian Universalism and this congregation. They have attended sessions to learn the history and values of UU. They have learned our UU history here and further abroad and beyond, as well as they've participated in a variety of activities and opportunities that we offer. They have attended a Pathways to Membership orientation and selected activities that were meaningful for each of them to learn about us and engage with us. They've met with congregational connectors and heard the importance of supporting our congregation with their time, energy, and financial resources. Each person has affirmed our values and our principles and said yes to the call of our mission to serve one another and the world. Each understands that our faith is a lifetime search for truth and meaning, and that joining this congregation affirms a willingness to continue to grow as people, both emotionally and spiritually. When each of them signs the membership book, they are committing to the principles of Unitarian Universalism and to the values, mission, and vision of this congregation. I will now call our new members' names, and I will invite them to come forward, signing the membership book as they hear their name. Charmaine Farber. Jeff Farber. Jules Freeman. Sarah Haberer. Prentice Thomas. Mitch Meikle. Jessica Montgomery. And Miranda Zahn.
here. Okay. Welcome. New members, may this be your religious and spiritual home, where you're woven into the intricate fabric of community that is this congregation's life together. Here you'll be cared for and asked to care for others. We welcome your presence among us and ask that you join us in the life of this congregation. In the presence of those gathered with us in person and online, I now ask you to state your intentions. Will you travel with us in a covenant of mutual care and love, help us be a welcoming and inclusive community, and share in the joys and responsibilities of membership? Please say we will. And will each of one of you join us joyfully and as fully as you're able in our shared ministry of serving others as we seek to be a welcoming and spiritually diverse home, a place where we act on our values to honor the earth, advocate for racial and social justice, foster deep connections, and embrace the ongoing quest for meaning? If so, please say we will.
Hi, my name is Sarah Ross, and I currently serve as the president of the board here at UUS, and I'm thrilled and honored, as always, to be a part of this ceremony. We want everyone to be able to welcome these new members. I invite all members of the congregation to say, "We will," when I indicate. So now, will you, ongoing members, joyfully welcome these persons into our congregation, invite them into our shared ministries, be open to their unique gifts and wisdom, and covenant to travel with them and each other in friendship, respect, and love? Members of the congregation, please say, "We will." We will. Thank you. Do you renew your promise to travel together with one another in a covenant of mutual care and love, to help us be a welcoming and inclusive community, and to participate in our shared service to one another and the world as fully as you are able? If so, please say, "We do." We do.
Charmaine, Jeff, Jules, Sarah, Prentice, Mitch, Jessica, and Miranda. Joining the Unitarian Universalist Society is a powerful and a transforming event in your life. Membership comes with both gifts and responsibilities. You'll be challenged to grow in spirit and to live out our UU principles and values within this congregation and beyond it. Ours is a shared ministry. You'll be called to offer the fullness of who you are as individuals in service to our mutual promises of love and care. Our deep hope is that you will open your hearts to accept the gifts of this spiritual community and know that you do not journey alone. As we end this ceremony, as a symbol of the light you bring into this community, we'll invite you one at a time to light a candle. I'm going to help you in just a moment. And after that, in honor of signing the membership book, you'll receive a rose of friendship, and the children among us will receive a flower. Like the rose, the journey of spiritual community may be thorny at times, and our hope is that your journey among us will unfold as sweetly as the petals of the rose. We're glad that you've chosen to make your spiritual home with us. Welcome. Please light your candle and receive your gifts.
Each week when they head to classes, our children light a lantern as a symbol of the love and hope that goes with them as they explore our faith. Children, youth, and teachers, please come forward as Aria lights our lantern from our chalice. Let us all join in, singing Be Open as children, youth, and teachers head to religious education. The words will be up on the screen.
Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye.
For the remainder of today's service, we will be reflecting on how we as individuals and we as a congregation can address intimate partner violence. If you'd like a quiet space at any time, you can head to the RE Commons, where we've turned off the sound for the rest of the service, or to the Walnut Room in the RE Wing, where pastoral care associates will be facilitating compassionate connections after the service. This reading is called Here is Where It All Begins by Reverend Maureen Killoran. Here is where it all begins. It cannot be otherwise. Here we have come to listen. We have come to hear. An old woman sat here yesterday on a park bench, a brown bag at her side, her eyes sparkling as children frolicked on a carousel. Nice day, I said. You're right, she said and smiled. We built a bridge and sat there silently. And a policeman came, took the brown bag, led the woman away. I said nothing. There was nothing to say, and the world moved on, and pain and joy were strangers once again. And yet here in the moment of connection is where it all begins. It cannot be otherwise. The city's named and nameless stories are what we are to hear. Someone's child is hungry. Someone has lost a job. Someone's marriage hurts so much there are no words. Someone needs a friend. The stories come. Oh, pray that we may hear and we may tell. Pray that we may bridge city streets with caring, that we may give and receive the blessing of love.
Will you please join me in this litany of compassion by Reverend Dennis McCarty? I will read the text and then ask you to read the text that's listed for all on the slides. Spirit of love, harmony, and remembrance, we stand too often divided, too often set apart from one another in heedless ways. We seek to be compassionate, but our vision may be clouded or distracted. We too often go forward day by day and look without seeing. May we reach out in honesty. May we work to heal the divisions which separate Earth's children one from another. May we peer through the mists of deception which hide and deny violence. mists enclosing those who suffer. May we not allow the misuse of our fellow souls to hide in broad daylight. May we reach out in honesty and in love. When we see the afflicted, however they may be afflicted, may we not shrink away. May we not blame suffering on the one who suffers. May we be courageous enough to perceive suffering and compassionate enough to attend to the voices of those who suffer. May we reach out in honesty and in love. When we see prejudice, when we hear evil speaking, when we witness the rough hand or the scathing word laid upon the helpless or innocent, may we resolve to work toward unity and justice. May we reach out in honesty and in love. May we not turn away from the wounded heart of the abused. May we not accept the twisted reasoning by which the oppressor declares himself the victim. May we reach out. Let our gratitude for good fortune in our lives lead us not to complacency, but to awareness. Awareness of those whose lives are shadowed by abuse or neglect. May we not ignore signs of deceit or denial that hide brutality. May we reach out in honesty and in love. In all things, may those who suffer ever be able to approach us, find a kindly ear and supporting hand. May we witness for love and justice at every level of relationship. May we nurture a keen eye and a strong and loving heart for any who fear the hurtful rod, the cutting voice, the uneven hand, the chain of oppression, great or small. May we reach out in honesty and in love.
May we witness for love and justice. May we nurture keen eyes and strong and loving hearts. May we not ignore signs. May we not accept twisted reasoning. Let me tell you a couple stories. For years, a woman with young children has been experiencing increasing verbal, emotional, economic, and physical abuse. She's reaching her breaking point and is realizing that this is not an environment she wants her children to grow up in, and it's not a healthy environment for her. She speaks to her family, telling her sister, brother-in-law, and parents just enough about her marriage troubles to get some advice and, she hopes, some support. Her sister and brother-in-law want her to be happy, but they're not sure what to do or whether it's right to get involved in a family matter. Her parents talk about how marriage is a commitment and how important it is to forgive and reconcile. The woman goes back and stays in the relationship for many years. In Opening the Door, a book designed to help ministers address intimate partner violence, Susan Yarrow Morris tells of a couple who goes to a minister for premarital counseling. During the counseling sessions, the minister has concerns. One of the partners seems to be intimidating the other. The minister arranges to see the partners individually as part of the premarital counseling, hoping that the topic of intimate partner violence will come up naturally without having to ask awkward questions. But it doesn't. Eventually, the minister decides she can't marry the couple, but she doesn't share her reasons because she's concerned about confidentiality. The couple gets married by another minister, and 6 months later, one of the partners ends up hospitalized from a beating. Intimate partner violence affects between 1 in 3 and 1 in 4 Americans. It affects everyone in this sanctuary, whether personally from our own childhood, youth, or adult experience, or through friends and family. What's more, intimate partner violence affects every demographic group. It affects people of all ethnicities, genders, and sexual orientations. It affects all religious groups, including Unitarian Universalists, at about the same rates. So let's talk about what intimate partner violence is. It's a pattern of violent and coercive behavior by one adult over another, or one youth over another in an intimate relationship. It's about power and control. Can I get the first slide? It's not about whether someone, a victim or a survivor, is loved or hated by the abuser. It's not about marital conflict, mutual abuse, a lover's quarrel, or a private family matter. Intimate partner violence can include physical, sexual, emotional, or economic assaultive and coercive behaviors like shoving, pushing, restraining, slapping, or kicking, the things we often think of. Using intimidation, breaking objects, hitting walls, showing weapons as a threat, abusing pets, or keeping someone from leaving a space. Verbal and emotional abuse, including name-calling or humiliation, or threats of violence. Isolation of family and friends, or intimidation and control over where a partner can go and what they can do. Minimizing, denying, and blaming, including making light of abuse, shifting responsibility for abusive behavior. Using children through guilt to relay messages or threatening to take children away. Using privilege, treating someone like a servant, making all the big decisions, being the one to define men's and women's roles. Forced financial dependence or controlling a partner's money, forced sexual activities, and stalking. Intimate partner violence shares similar characteristics across identities, but sometimes there are different ways it shows up. Next slide. This one doesn't go into much detail, but there are differences sometimes for LGBTQ relationships. The same general categories apply, but they can include things like questioning if you really belong in the queer community, if you're a real lesbian, maybe biphobia or transphobia. Can include threatening to out a partner, saying no one will believe their partner because it's the same gender relationship. Similarly, in immigrant communities, it can include characteristics that include things like using immigration status to control people. If you want to look at power and control wheels that go into more detail for various communities, there are going to be wheels at one of the tables at the entrance to the fellowship hall during our coffee hour. Intimate partner violence typically escalates over time, and it breaks the covenant of a relationship. Often victims or survivors and those who are around them aren't sure what to do. We don't know the signs to look for, or if we notice signs, we aren't sure how to ask a question about what's going on, or we're not sure what to say or do, whether that's because we lack information or the messages that have been given to us by society that tell us we shouldn't get involved. So I want to be clear. Our Unitarian Universalist values and principles have a lot to say about intimate partner violence. And it's known that faith communities can be particularly effective in addressing intimate partner violence, given how closely we're related to people's lives, how we're trusted, and the messages people get from larger society that encourage them to stay in violent relationships. Our UU values tell us that every person is inherently worthy and dignified, but all behaviors aren't. They tell us that every person deserves to be safe and whole. And they tell us about the centrality of covenant. This is crucial when we're talking about intimate partner violence, because whether relationships contain explicit covenants, such as marriage vows, or implicit covenants about caring for one another, all covenants involve mutual promises and care towards one another. But unfortunately, we exist in a larger culture that is constantly giving us toxic messages about power and control, that is constantly reinforcing sexism and heteronormativity, that is telling us that some people are more worthy of being safe and whole, that is telling us that a victim or a survivor who leaves a relationship because of violence or abuse is breaking the covenant. That is all false. It is false because we know that the covenant was already broken by abusive behavior. We know that each and every person, each and every one of you in this sanctuary or listening to me online, each and every one of you is sacred and worthy and deserves to be safe and whole. Safe from mental, emotional, physical, and sexual intimidation and abuse. Our larger culture twists messages by telling victims and survivors that we need to show love by focusing on forgiveness, like we heard in one of those stories. However, it's quite dangerous to focus on forgiveness while abuse is ongoing, when one cannot safely access the full range of emotions necessary for forgiveness, like rage, anger, despair, and release, when one is not safe. Being worthy includes allowing oneself to grieve the many, many different losses that stem from abuse. And eventually, when someone is safe, is able to process what has happened, it means that they get to find forgiveness in their own time, if at all. Intimate partner violence, abuse, harms us all. It damages our societal structure, hurts our individual and collective psyches, and prevents both victims and abusers from being fully productive and participatory members of our society. Violence against another person damages the person engaging in abusive behavior too. Abuse is fundamentally a warping of justice, equity, and compassion. It is an effort to exert power and control that denies the full humanity of another person. So what can we do? One crucial thing is focusing on equity in human relations. And we can move to the next slide. A tragedy of the current state of our society is that many of us aren't quite sure what equity in human relations looks like, though. I know that I have had to personally learn this over the course of years, and that I've had to keep relearning it because of how we swim in a sea of toxic messages. We're not trained in equity. So I want to share with you the equity or equality wheel, and we have lots of copies of this and ones for different identity groups in the fellowship hall as well. This is the flip side of the power and control wheel. It includes things like non-threatening behavior, talking and acting so that our partner feels safe and comfortable expressing themselves and doing things. Respect, listening non-judgmentally, being emotionally affirming and valuing opinions. Trust and support, supporting goals, respecting the right of our partner to have their own feelings, friends, activities, and opinions. Honesty and accountability, accepting responsibility for ourselves, acknowledging our past use of violence, however much that was, admitting being wrong, communicating openly and truthfully. Responsible parenting, which includes things like sharing responsibilities, being a positive, non-violent role model for children. Shared responsibility, which looks like mutually agreeing on a fair distribution of work, making family decisions together. Economic partnership, which looks like making money decisions together, making sure both partners benefit from financial arrangements. And negotiation and fairness, seeking mutually satisfying resolutions to conflict, accepting change, and being willing to compromise. It's crucial that we learn about and internalize these attributes of equitable relationships and promote them in our families, our communities, and our congregations. Congregations like ours can and are helping address intimate partner violence by discussing equitable relationships and intimate partner violence. Congregations can also both recognize the inherent worth and dignity of victims or survivors and of people who engage in abuse, which is much harder but is necessary. We can hold covenant with people who have engaged in abuse by working for accountability and restoration of relationship with the congregation when that's possible, or mourning the loss of relationship when it's not. Religious communities can also address intimate partner violence by raising awareness and addressing it in our programs. We can ensure we have safer congregations policies, books in our libraries, and that our pastoral care team has the skills to address any hints of intimate partner violence and make the appropriate referrals. As individuals, we can support and encourage this work in our communities. We can learn and relearn about power and control and about equity in human relations. We can practice skills for responding to conflict. We can practice talking about power and control, equity, and healthy ways of communicating and responding to conflict. And each and every one of us can prepare ourselves to ask the important questions and reach out in love. It may feel awkward, but when we have a suspicion, when we have a question, asking is how we witness for love and justice. It's how we reach out with honesty and love. May we reach out, may all of us reach out with honesty and love. So may it be, amen, and blessed be.
Nurturing gratitude and how we understand and express interdependence is part of how we live into our Unitarian Universalist faith. So as we enter into our time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer, we acknowledge the joys and sorrows of our congregation. We do this by dropping stones into a bowl of water, symbolically immersing our personal joys and sorrows into the flow of all life's joys and sorrows. The water surrounds and holds the stone just as we are surrounded and held by the love and support of this congregation. For those who would like to share their joys or sorrows in conversation in a smaller venue, a reminder that the Pastoral Care Associates will be leading a Compassionate Connection Circle in the Walnut Room immediately after today's worship service. These circles, which happen on the second and fourth Sundays, are opportunities to share with and support each other. If you're participating in our service elsewhere, you may wish to meditatively hold a stone, wash your hands, or meditate on an object near you. And if you're in the sanctuary and feel called to do so, please come forward, take a stone from the basket, and place your stone in the water as we sing together.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding me. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding us. We rest in this love. There is a love holding me. There is a love is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all I rest in this love.
Today's meditation, contemplation, and prayer is by Reverend Erica Hewitt, and it is a shared one. So please join with me. Can I ask folks on the left side of the congregation, maybe through Victoria there, and then folks on the right side of the congregation, group 2, left side of the congregation, group 1. Your text will be on the slides. So group 1, will you join me? The word courage comes from the Latin cor, which means heart. According to poet Mark Nepo, the original use of the word courage meant to stand by one's core, a striking concept that reinforces the belief found in almost all traditions that living from the center is what enables us to face whatever life has to offer. Group 2, will you join me? To encourage means to hearten, to impart strength and confidence. This is our work as a religious community. To encourage one another, to be bold in engaging the world around us as well as what scares us internally. To give one another the confidence and heart to live as fully as possible. And together we say, with full hearts, we affirm our relationships with one another. We recognize our agency and our connective power. And we accept our responsibility to be bold and courageous. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Amen. And may it be so.
To live out our mission, values, and principles, each week's Sunday offering goes to an organization in the community that this congregation has chosen to support. Our community partner agency this month is the Emma Goldman Clinic, and Stephanie Edmonds is here to tell us about the clinic's work.
Good morning. I am a short white woman in my 40s with blonde hair, and I have a green sweater on with pink stripes. So I feel really good to be here this morning. The weather is wonderful, and it's wonderful to see you all. I'm not just a speaker today, but I've been coming here a few times, and just like you, sitting and taking this all in. So my name is Stephanie Edmonds, and I have been the co-chair of the Emma Goldman Clinic Board of Directors for about 3 years now. And I wanted to just start by saying thank you. Your decision to dedicate a portion of your April pledges to support the clinic is incredibly generous, and it reflects something I've already felt here, a deep commitment to compassion, justice, and caring for others in real, tangible ways. I'm also a nurse, and I've spent my career caring for people during some of the most vulnerable moments of their lives. While I haven't personally needed an abortion care, I've cared for many patients who have. I've seen complexity in their situations, the weight of their decisions, and the relief that comes when they are finally able to access the care they need. Those experiences have stayed with me, and they are a big part of why this work at Emma Goldman Clinic matters so much to me. I also want to acknowledge something especially important given today's focus on intimate partner violence. Pregnancy is one of the most dangerous times in a person's life when it comes to violence. In fact, homicide by a partner is the leading cause of death for pregnant people in the United States. So when we talk about access to reproductive health care, we're not just talking about a choice in the abstract, we're also talking about safety, autonomy, and survival. At Emma Goldman Clinic, we provide a full spectrum of reproductive health care, including abortion care, but we really provide is something deeper, a place where people are met with respect, where they are listened to, and where they are trusted to make decisions about their own bodies and lives. And right now in Iowa, access to that care is becoming more limited. Abortion is restricted after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, often before many people even realize they're pregnant. And that means patients are really navigating care very quickly, under pressure, and often traveling out of state, which adds time, cost, and stress. And we are seeing that impact directly at our clinic. So when you support Emma Goldman Clinic, you're not just supporting or building a service, you're helping real people overcome real barriers. Your donations help cover the cost of care to patients who otherwise could not afford it. They help ensure staffing so appointments are available when time matters most. And they create a space where people are met with compassion, not judgment, especially when they may not be safe anywhere else. So thank you for the way you show up for this work, for our patients, and for our communities like ours. It truly makes a difference. Thank you.
And now I say the boring things. Thank you, Stephanie. Cash and non-pledge offerings are shared between our community partner agencies and UUS, with 75% going to support our partners. You may use the memo line of a check or our online giving portal to designate a contribution to the community partner agency, your annual pledge, or additional operating expenses. If you would like to give online or via text, the instructions are on the screen. As we conduct the offering today, we also recognize the many non-financial contributions that keep our congregation running and that members of our congregation provide to a broader community. We are grateful for everything, tangible or not, that you are willing and able to give. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. May what has been shared today help us more fully affirm our interconnection and live into love and justice. After the service today, we gather in the fellowship hall and outside for conversation and community, and we have cake for the new member ceremony. If you're a newcomer, we hope you'll grab a snack and then sit at any table so folks can join us. Also in the fellowship hall this Sunday, members of the social justice team will be doing some postcard writing, so you can join them with that. And also sustainability bingo is going on in the fellowship hall right now too. After today's service, board members Sarah Ross and Jan Weaver will be exploring this year's open questions at a table in the fellowship hall. Topics include member engagement and how our shared values can inform our decision making. All are welcome to join the UUS Singers rehearsal here in the sanctuary at 11:30 as well.
Our closing hymn for this morning is number 168, One More Step. Please rise in body or in spirit. One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song.
Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again.
What has been shared today may sit heavily with you. Please take care, lean on your spiritual practices or a friend or a loved one. Be gentle with yourself. May what has been shared today expand our understanding of equity and respect in our relationships. May it guide us to live love more fully and fiercely into this world. And welcome to your newest members. May the relationships you have formed and will continue to form in this congregation bless you as you will bless this congregation. May it be so. Blessed be.